Hi and welcome back to the channel. We're going to have a good in-depth look at the Outbacker Firebox range oven stove. So we're going to look at its measurements so you know how big the oven is in reality with proper measurements. We're going to have a look at all the sizes, how thick the steel is.
Every time I think I'm going to wake up back in the jungle. Every time I think I'm going to wake up back in the jungle.
So we start off with the bag. You've got nice heavy strapping on it, cinch down straps. This bag comes with it. It's a nice double zip, which will take it all the way around, give you easy access. You get that little piece for going over there, which is part of built into the bag. All the stove pipes are in this at the moment. The height of the stove with the legs folded is 26 and 10¼ inches. The top is actually wider than the body, so your cooking surface and that is going to be wider. So you can probably tell better from this angle. This is a lip on here, so it's wider. So I'm going to show you some features on here. You've got some Allen key covers there, and what they're for is you can undo these, take the plates off, so you can get in to the chamber above the oven, up here and under there, so you can clean it with a brush, because it will sit up over time and you need to be able to clean that soot out for it to be efficient. So when it starts to, well, you can inspect it and clean your oven after the season you've used it, you can get in and clean them, which is a great feature. So obviously you've got your air vent in to control flow in and up the flue, so you can control that. You've got your viewing glass so you can see in how the fire's going. You have another viewing glass for the oven and a temperature gauge, which is on there, which is a great little feature. This is your hot plate cover, so you can remove it to cook directly over the heat. So you can put a large pan on there or leave it on. Let's get the length of this. It is 55 centimeters, which is 21 3/4 inch. Width is 26 centimeters, which is 10 1/4 inches. So let's get the thickness using the vernier. So it's 3 mil, that's just over because I've pulled it off and it's loosened it. You've got 3 mil steel. There's a thick top plate. That's 2.6, so it's probably 2.5 mil for that collar up there. 3 mil. It's a big beast of a stove. There's no denying that. Let's get the flue pipe out, and then I'll start looking at measurements of the oven size and the burn box size. So the flue all stacks into the oven, and there's also some in the burn box. And the reason that is, they don't all fit in one compartment because there's a load of them. So these are stainless steel, these pipes, and they're very thin. So I'd say they're less than or about 1 millimeter, but I'm going to measure it and we'll see. 0.3. That is a small. That's a small, lightweight pipe. The flue, stainless steel. They get quite messy when they've been used and burnt. That's your spark arrestor, you can see in there, and it's got a sealed top, so it won't actually let water back down. So let's start putting it together. There is a special piece which is flared on both ends. Now this one is different to the other pieces because it's got 2 flares on both ends, and your spark arrestor will go on that one. Then that goes on the top, so that one's separate. We'll keep that separate, and we can start building up the other sections because they're all the same now, apart from short and long. Just so it's for storage, the length. Now the way I build it is I build that upwards with the flange going over the top. That way any smoke and gas is not going to hit and possibly leak out in the tent, so it will always go up. So that's the way I build it. I have seen videos of people putting the one which has got 2 flanges on the base of the stove, which then will create your flanges to be the wrong way around when it's up. And I think that for safety you should have it always, the flow should always be unlimited and going straight up in the air. So I'm putting all the small ones together first. Because this is going to end up being up at the top. That's a 7 foot or 2 meters and 24. It's a 7 foot stack. Flue. You have an ash pan, so you can remove ash and throw it away while you're burning during the long burns. I'll give you the measurements of that ash pan. So the ash pan measures 16 centimeters, which is just under 6.5 inch, by 22 centimeters, which is 8 3/4 inches. The actual burn box, I would say the max you're going to get in it is 7 inches, which is about 18 centimeters, and the dimensions are going to be similar. 23 centimeters, 9 inch, which is the longest piece of wood you can put in it, is 9 inches, unless you diagonal it, and you'll get 10.5 inches in. I try and keep to about 8 inches on my cutting. But you have a look in there as well. You can see how this works. You've got the way it captures the wood to stop it falling over in the other side. There's a little divider in there, because I feel that up here somewhere that will let the heat get into the baffle of the oven, but I don't know exactly how that's getting in there. But you can actually have a good look in there, can't you? Because the chimney isn't in the burn box, you notice. The chimney is above the oven. So that's a void in there, below this. Yeah, below that is a void, and the chimney's in there. Well, the chimney comes off above of that. So somehow that's the burn that you're doing is getting in. The burn you're doing is getting into the actual oven box. So I can imagine it could be going down here, down in there, and going under it, or perhaps around it, and then back up the chimney. So you're heating the whole thing as a nice circular motion. It's 15 centimeters, it's about 6 inches. The flue pipe is 6 centimeters, so it's 60 millimeters, which is 2 1/4 inch. The oven box just under 23.5 centimeters deep. $26.5 wide, which is just under 10.5 inch, and 9.5 inch. 17 high, just about just under 7 inches. The shelving, there's 2 shelves in there. They're 5 centimeters up, and then again 5 was 5.5. I imagine it's similar to the top. Yeah, 5. So they're spread out about 5.5 inches, centimeters apart from the bottom, middle, top. So you have 2 racks in there. You get a little pan and you get a little tray. I'll go and get those and show you. So you get an oven rack. Which you slide in, which is pretty nice. You get this little oven pan as well, which you can slide in. Put it in the bottom, have it in the bottom, put it on any shelf you like. And you also get a rear rack for this. So the rear rack will slot into 2 little loops on the back. The rear rack attaches to these 2 little welded on loops, and it just hooks in. So you could put stuff on there for drying. I'll measure that and tell you how big it is. The rear rack is 31.5 centimeters long, or 1.5 foot. These little, if you can see these little Allen key screw holes, they're for putting in a water kettle on the side. It hangs on there, but people don't really use them now. They go on the chimney on the flue stack normally. Here's your sign for Outbackers. Great stove. So into the unit itself, you're looking at 14 centimeters, which is 5.5 inches. The depth of the stove from the top lip underneath it to above where the feet are going to be is 25 centimeters, or just under 10 inch. We'll open the feet up. So the feet are fold away. They both fold in to stow the thing in the bag, and then they open up. And I'll tell you how much that is. It'll give you off the floor. When that's open, looking at 9 centimeters. So there's a 9 centimeter gap going to be underneath the stove, up to the bottom flange of this side. So I'm going to go and put it into the tent and then get it all set up. I've cleared a little area here for it. So I've just got to get this in line now. Just push the stove through, the flue. And we know we're about there. And that's it, we're on. I mean, you could use this in the summer, you could use it any time of year, but hot tenting, obviously you want it in the tent, but it can stand alone with the stack sticking up anywhere, in the garden, you know, put one in your boat, in your van, in the woods, in the field, they go anywhere. Very, very nice and usable. And there's the stack coming out the top. It's still cold here. It's early, it's just gone 10 o'clock-ish. In fact, time flies, it's 20 to 11. And it's probably just above freezing or around freezing. But there's the little, I say little, it's not big and it's not small. It's a really nice size. So I'm going to go and prep some wood, which is going to take me a while. But there are lots of bits of dead wood around. I'll find, and then we'll start thinking about firing it up, get some cooking on for you. So I'm going to try and level up the stove. I've got my phone on there with my spirit level app. So we're going to try and get that level by pressing and pushing stuff under the feet. Small sticks. On the other side. It just makes everything better to cook if you've got a level surface to start with. That's pretty much on. I'm happy with that. And you can't do it when it's hot, it'd be just really difficult, so get that done before you start. I'm happy with that levelness. As it heats it might change, but we'll find that out, won't we? It's all tests. So let's start loading it up. Got some really small stuff here to go in. Get a few of these wood walls in. There is birch bark around here, but I've got these, so I'm going to use them. I always say use what you got. And now I'm going to push those wood wool in with a stick. Check my phone off before it blows up. Open the vent, fully open. And we should have smoke start coming out the top, out of our flue, because it's going to be smoky to start with. Let's get that oven door shut. You want that to start heating up as well. There's a litre of water in there. So we'll let it heat up, and then we'll start looking at throwing something in the oven. Peter's got a steak we're going to do on a griddle, so we're going to have a look at that as well. You get this Jubilee clip with these two steel rings attached to it. So you put it over your flue, and then you can put guy lines off it, like the Frontier stove does. You've seen that on the Frontier, I'm sure. And that's what that's for. But it is a pretty solid standing flue when there's no wind, so it's not really necessary to do it. Yeah, I'll do a steak in a minute. I just want to get some drinks going, get some hot drink in me. It's getting a nice burn down there. It's taking well. I'm going to close the door. Vent's still fully open. heater here. You can see it in there, it's the back. This griddle is freezing cold. It's just come out of my bag. We've got to let that heat up. I can tell you how cold that is. It's 8 degrees it says. So that's already started to heat, but that is cold. It feels like ice. And then we get that hot and then we get the steak on. This is Peter's steak for today. I've got pizzas. So that should be quite nice, isn't it, Peter? Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah.
The griddle's coming up to temperature now, so I think this is a peel off top for this steak. Just check that before I cut it. Yeah, it just peels off. There's Peter's steak. Shall I just tip it out on the floor like I
Try
normally
not
do?
to throw it on the floor.
Like I do with all his food. So we're going to put a salt and pepper on that. Put that knife away. So this is just going to have salt and pepper on it. I'll do the other side when it's on the griddle. The griddle is up to about 100 odd degrees. It's great having a temperature gun, I tell you. That's coming up lovely. It's 125. So I think I'm going to throw it on and just see how that goes.
Is that you?
Yeah, it's not very hot.
I'll get there.
It's starting now.
It's lovely. Sizzle provided by Paulbissekerbushcraft.
Yeah, it needs to be hotter, but I just want to get things going. Let's open these pizzas, get this pizza, I don't know what to use for it. Hope we get both on there, to even measure them up. But I think we will.
You will.
These have just started to defrost and they've been out of the freezer for hours. It's cold.
You should drop it on the floor like you keep doing with my food.
That's your food though, but I don't do it to my food. Right, they're in. The steak is going now. I've still got my old cup brew, that's still going. I think I've just put cheese on top of the stove, so I think I'm going to rub that off. But that's starting to melt. I don't want to rub off. But the steak's coming up.
I smell it.
And put that back on top of the oven. Yeah, so it's going well. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. This stove is fantastic. So I want to give a big thanks to Nick and Shauna from Outbacker Stoves. They've provided this stove for review and it's fantastic. If anybody's looking for a stove with an oven, I recommend this one. I mean, I've seen a few Outbacker stoves, well, I've seen stoves, Outbacker do them, the little fireboxes, which are great, they're perfect, but the oven isn't on it. And if you want to go to extra, well, it's a lot extra, isn't it, to get an oven. So we'll see how them pizzas come out, because it's a totally it's another level when you've got an oven. Everyone's got the ability to cook on top of the surface, and that's nothing wrong with that. they're brilliant. You should look at the Firebox stoves. They are fantastic. But the oven is just another level. And I love it. I can smell his steak cooking now. Put your back on that instead of me. Looking forward to it, Peter.
Yeah.
I'm going to top up my cup a bit. That's definitely hot.
When you take it off the griddle, try not to throw it into the mud.
Yeah, I'll try not to throw it in the mud, Peter. I know that people might think that's a joke, but that does happen, doesn't it? When I deal with it.
Not to me, yeah, when you do my food, it does.
Right, I'm gonna open the oven again because I've got some chips. I didn't put them in, did I? So let's put some chips in the oven. I can hear that coming up now. That I can smell those pizzas in there. Just trying to juggle it. Yeah, there's loads of chips, please. Oh, you want some onion? I didn't think I didn't bring it there. Forgot to bring it. I wouldn't throw it on the floor, Dan. Season's French fries. You know, I've got two gloves, but they're both right hands. I've got a left somewhere, and I just don't know where it is. I think it might be in my bag. I'm going to have a look. Try and even these out so they cook.
I'm really enjoying this, Paul.
Yeah, I'm going to turn your steak in a minute. Yeah, it's good. It's great. I love it, actually. It is good. You're not wrong, pal. You're not doing anything, but you never do anything. And it is good. You're right.
Well, we're having a beer and watching you cook my steak.
Yeah. Great, isn't it?
Wicked.
Yeah, it's wicked. Let's turn it.
That's a good griddle, that, isn't it?
That is a good griddle. That's some griddles I bought anticipating to use something like this.
Did you do a review on the griddle?
Yeah, we've done the griddles.
That's heavy, isn't it, as well? Half iron.
So now I'll tell you what's going on with the stove. It is on a half damper, so I've only got the vent open half. You can see it's burning in there nicely. Just going to have a look at the steak first, and we're going to have a look at the chimney. How's it going, Peter? The old flue.
Still got a bit of white and slightly blue smoke.
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's will it an air in. If we was to damp that down, it probably wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, because the wood's wet. It's the wet woods. It's January. It would clear if I completely shut it off and we had dry wood, for sure. But the setup's looking wicked, isn't it? Loving it.
Yeah, it's good. It looks good.
All you need is smell-o-vision now. You'll be able to smell it all.
And you don't realise how hot it is inside the tent.
Oh yeah, it's so warm in there now. Just being in there. And have a look at what the tray's saying. Because I do have a feeling they'll be hot on one side. As I thought. So I'm going to spin that. This is what I expected. This is like before fan ovens existed. You're going to get more heat one side. So there's a little bit of juggling, but this is definitely expected from a burner that doesn't blow the heat evenly. So don't worry about that, just be aware of it. And then I'd spin them again, but I actually turn the pizzas so we get even cook everywhere. The chips are going to have to probably be spun around as well, but I'll look at that in a minute. How well do you want your steak, Peter?
You're gonna flip it.
Yeah, I'm going to flip it again now.
I like my steak well done.
I know you do, but you don't want it burnt, do you? Just going to have a look at these pizzas and chips. Pizzas are looking good. They're not far off, actually.
They're done.
Yeah.
They are done.
The chips, though, I think that they need to go up.
It's how cool is that? An oven?
And they can go at the bottom with less heat. So we'll leave them in there for another 4 or 5, and then I'll check the chips because they're the ones that are less likely to be cooked. You're loving it, don't you?
That's awesome.
What about the heat when you came back in the tent?
Yeah, lovely and toasty.
It's warm, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm wearing stuff, yeah, but that was really nice warmth when I come in the tent.
I want to check the floor temperature inside here. It's 14 degrees floor temperature inside the tent, as you can see that. And then I fire it to the floor outside the tent. It's 1.6 degrees. Gonna have a look now at these pizzas because I think they are. Well, they were done anyway, but this is where you need to improvise. Use a tool. And I've just pushed the pizza off the back. So I need to get in there. These are the things that happen in real world. Burnt my hand. Real world events.
The chips done.
Yeah, I imagine that they're basically done.
You need to heat them up, don't you, really? They're crispy, aren't they?
Yeah, we'll try one and see how they are.
They're okay, like I said, they're okay, Paul. You burnt your paw, didn't you?
Yeah, I burnt my hand because I used the hand without a glove on.
Death by chip.
I think they could do a bit longer.
Well, you got the oven, put them back in the oven. Wicked, isn't it? Wicked.
Yep. So I'm going to put some more wood on and get it going a bit more.
I think it's very important to state that you need gloves on to touch these handles.
Yeah, I
If you
wouldn't.
touch these handles without gloves, you're going to burn your hand.
There's a good chance, yeah.
Just chuck it back in the oven, it's wicked.
We're not in a rush, are we?
No, we're camping, we're glamping.
We are. Right, I think it's time to have a look at these chips. I found my left hand glove buried in the bag. So let's serve them.
Do you want me to hold my plate?
No, you're okay. Well, you can hold your plate there.
They'd be easy for you to do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You take the knife off.
Well, just chuck them on, Biggie.
I need a fork.
Cheers.
Want to show the camera?
Yeah.
Right, let's see what you're thinking then. Let's see what you're saying. Show the camera.
There you go. Bit of chips and steak. Lovely. Lovely jobblies. Alright, succulent, mate. Succulent. Yeah, you cooked that well.
So what's the steak? Really good?
Huh? The chips are like French fries, aren't they?
Do you want any salt and pepper?
Nah.
They are French fries, seasoned French fries. You get more than me.
Double thumbs up.
You would recommend it, yeah, this oven?
I would definitely recommend this oven. It takes camping,
To another
slogging
level.
about in the mud, to glamping.
Yeah. Peter got more chips than me than usual. I've eaten one pizza because I just got hungry. So let's see what the chips are like.
They don't even smell of smoky, do they? It tastes of smokiness.
Well, they won't. There's no smoke in the oven. It's a sealed unit. But this is no different to being at home. The pizza is fantastically cooked. Outbacker Stoves. Amazing. What you can do in the middle of the woods. 1 degree outside, 15 degrees inside. With the door shut, I think we could get it well over 20. Thanks for watching. I know it's been quite a bit of a long video, but honestly this stove is something else. If you like it, go and check out the links to it over at Outbacker Stoves. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe if you want to see more.
And the bell.
Yeah, don't forget to click the bell so you don't miss anything coming up in the future when I upload, because sometimes you can miss. Peter's firing chips across the tent, they're on the floor and everywhere. So we'll leave it at that. It's a goodbye from me.
Yeah, well recommended.
Don't aim a knife at 'em, Peter.
Sorry. Well recommended, this stove, it's wicked.
Bye bye. It shouldn't be hot at the top anyway. So let's take it away from the tent.